welcome to Wednesdays with Jenna. I am super excited to have you here, and I am your host every week on the show, except we had some amazing guests who helped me out a couple weeks ago. Big shout out to Jeremy and Devine. Hope everybody is doing well today. I am so excited about our topic today, and I won't lie. This could be the best show we've ever had or the shakiest show we've ever had, because I was struggling so hard to commit to my plan or to totally change topics in light of some big announcements we had last week that I am just like burning to share with you guys how to understand your value in the marketplace and how to communicate it to people. But because I promised you guys I was going to finish on how to define success and then really how to launch a plan that will move you toward that success, I didn't want to fall short on the promise that I made to you guys last week. So I'm going to remind you how to define success and why it's important, quick review, and then I'm going to show you how to actually start putting a plan in place that can actually get you there. I see so many times people just do a vision board or just define success or just time block, and they all three actually work together to work on a daily basis to move you where you want to go. And look, no one is perfect with this. We all know that there could be a perfect plan, but there's always, life happens. And so execution is never perfect. So don't get bogged down in the weeds today. But today I'm really excited to help you understand how to define success and now actually how to launch yourself toward it in a way that you can actually see the vision come into reality. Are you ready? Okay. So last week we talked about there's 3 elements of success that are critical, that most experts, they all agree. Okay, that this is where it lies, the foundation. This is the foundation of success. Clarity of 2 things. Self, not the version of the self that you want to be or that you wish you were, but exactly where you are. Because if you don't know where you are, you can't make a plan of where you can go that's realistic. Okay, so clarity of self. And then again, clarity of your purpose. Very few people understand their purpose. And I, for a long time, got really caught up in this. I was like, where's my purpose? And it needs to be this higher thing. And I just got bogged down in the weeds. But I really started to understand my natural gifts and talents, which is actually getting people to take action and change, which is kind of why I'm on the show with you guys. And I was like, I need to live and walk in that purpose. And that can be applied even to my client. All right. So clarity of self and purpose is a foundational element that you need to have when you go to define your version of success. Number 2 is a growth mindset. Essentially what that means is that to grow, you have to be humble, because to grow means that you have to realize where you're at right now is not your peak, and it is never going to be your peak. I am astounded when I meet truly successful people that have both lifestyles that I love to see, that I'm aspiring to also have, and businesses that I also aspire to have a business like their business. There's always a next level for anyone at any level in business. And what that means is that you have to be humble, and you also have to know that there's always more to learn. The third one is courage. And when I say this, if you get butterflies in your stomach, that means that probably struggling with that right now, because it is really scary. We work, real estate is an industry. We all know it. If you haven't experienced it, you haven't done enough business yet, or maybe you just are the chosen one. But rejection, people say no, people rub you the wrong way, people undervalue you, right? And you have to be courageous enough and grow thick skin. Also, courage is truly owning your fears and doing and facing the fear anyway, just walking through it and doing things scared. That's courage. Courage doesn't ride in like a white knight and make it where you're just not afraid. No, courage is actually doing the thing that you're scared of, afraid. And it was a huge, huge life transforming discovery for me. I had never heard anyone say that before until the light bulb went off in my own head. And I was like, why am I successful? And how can I help other people be successful? And what can I help them understand? And I was like, oh, Jenna, you're just actually really good at doing things afraid. Sweating with a knot in your throat and butterflies in your stomach. You just do it anyway. And it's not that I'm not afraid. I just do it. So we have to be courageous. All right. Now, having said that, I will share my definition of success with you. So maybe it will help you kind of grease the wheels. And this will be quick because we're going to move on. My definition of success is the 3 Ds. Discover my purpose that God created me for, develop myself for that purpose, and then deploy myself in that purpose. That was for me, my definition of success. And see how I didn't say I want to make 10, 100 million, 1,000 billion dollars a year. That might be, okay, now we all need to have an income goal because you don't know what the end looks like, right? You know what you're reaching for, you can't get there because it's just darkness. So we need to know these things. But I have reached 140, 150 transactions a year before with no assistance and no team. And so I know what that feels like, and I know what it takes, and I know I'm capable of it. And I actually have rearranged my life to not have to do that anymore. That's not my definition of success anymore. I know what it takes. I've felt it and it was great, but it's not what I wanted actually. So I really had to define my version of success and then change around it. Now that we understand what it takes to be successful, clarity and growth mindset and courage, and you have an idea of what make a statement for yourself. I challenged you to do that last week to define what success means for you. Now we can go into, okay, Jenna, get it, but how do I actually make a plan that I can see, that I can feel, and that I can measure to do this? Because I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going. And this was where I used to get stuck. First, you define success and come up with your 1 to 3 sentence statement about what it is, just like I did, the 3 Ds. It can be whatever you want though. And then you have to decide essentially the support columns that will hold up that definition. So I'm going to help you back into, this is one of the gifts that I discovered God gave me. I stink. Actually, have you ever heard of the different personality types, architect, builder, and so on? I am an architect, but I really suck at building. I need help building. So I'm going to help you architect. And some of you are going to like really take off with this building thing. And some of you are going to be a little bit slower at it like I was. And that's okay. You have the vision. You have the statement of what success is. Now you need to build out the support columns that make sense for that to become a reality. So I'm going to show you this year, I'm going to share with you what is on my personal vision board. And I'll be candid about the things in my life that changed because I am living in this, because this is what I chose and this is what I want. And this is what success is for me, just like you will. Define success and then build the support columns. The support columns, because I wanted to discover my purpose and then essentially develop myself in that and deploy myself in that. My priority had to change. All right. I used to say 4 or 5 years ago that my priority was my relationship with God and my spouse and my kid. But if you looked at my calendar, it was just me lying to myself. And I'm calling myself out to the floor because some of you probably need to hear this too. If you're like, well, Jenna, I'm in the beginning phases of building my business and that time just isn't there. I promise you that with intention, you can nurture every area of your life. Now, you do need to understand there are some times where things are going to be out of whack. Like we all just came through summer and the business is trying to like took over a little bit. I worked more weekends this summer, right, than I did all the rest of the year. So there are times where it will teeter-totter and the balance will be off and it won't be perfect, and that's called life. But always seek to be aware of those times and rebalance. This is on my vision board, and this stems from my priorities. My priorities are my relationship with God. And look, if you don't believe in God or a higher power, or you're not the same faith as me, you are welcome here. I love diversity. I think it makes the world go round. And I think that truly good people and truly kind people still find more in common because they still can love each other despite their differences. Okay, I'm getting on a soapbox here. Back to the curriculum. But I love it. Some of our best friends are of totally different faiths than we are, and we love them truly. So God, my relationship with God, y'all, if I don't time block my time with God, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't. And it was that way for years. And I was like, why don't I feel connected with God? Oh, Jenna, because you never spend time with him. And that's me again, calling myself to the carpet. So I had to get intentional. Second was this year. So it's number 1. And I literally have it in a tree from top priority, second priority, and so on and so forth. On my vision board is my spouse. There were so many years where we were not on the same page because the business had taken over our lives. And we both really had to decide over the past couple of years, we have had enough of that. And so that's the second thing on my vision board to regain that. That was a priority. The third thing is my son. And if you hear, I haven't gotten to business yet, and I'm going to explain to you why here in a minute. The third thing was my son, because that was something that he is going to be 8 in December. And I absolutely refuse not to be present anymore. I used to be so worn out for the business. Even when I was there, I wasn't there. Like, my brain was so tired. Like, I couldn't even hear him talk when he was looking at me because I was exhausted from working 80 hours a week. And the fourth, if we just go down, right? So I'm not going to keep going on mine, but you need to discover yours. All right. And for this year, my fourth one was actually, again, not business. It was telling myself that I am worthy of having fun. I am worthy of rest, and I am worthy of healing, because I don't know if you guys know this, but I have like 2 or 3 autoimmune disorders and a neurological disorder. And I'm also not going to put myself and my health on the back burner anymore. I will not do it because it makes life miserable. Define success, and then start to build the pillars of what is going to support that vision. And you might have long-term pillars and you might have short-term pillars. And I want to show you, based off of hundreds of coachings, lots of interviews with top agents and newbies, this is what your business plan should consist of, period, end of story. If you want to have a life and a business that is successful, you need to have basically at least 3 types of priority on your vision board and in your daily calendar. Define success priorities. You need to have these kind of activities. You need to decide what money-making activities are for your business. Like, what input do you put into your business that gives you money back out of it? Is it open houses? Is it phone calls? Is it attraction marketing campaigns? Is it your SOI? Is it events? Whatever it is, you must be doing those things to make money in your business. Those are called lifeblood activities. It's input, output money, input, output money, right? We must do these things. After that, what are life-giving activities? And I know I used to hate it when people talk like this. I'm like, just give me the stuff that's going to make my business fly. I'm going to tell you, if I just gave you business advice on this, 5 years from now, you might have a thriving business and be totally owned by your business as well. I do not want you to end up being me before I knew better. So write down, like, get a freaking hobby. I know that sounds weird, but y'all, I had no hobbies when I was pushing over, 140 deals here. No life, no hobby. No, I mean, I had friends, but I don't even know how they stayed around because I never saw them. So life-giving activities are the second things. What fuels your soul, body, mind? And then I would like to propose that you take away garbage. I'm going to challenge you to take away crap out of your life. Like, are you watching hours of TV every day? Are you just scrolling on Facebook for hours a day? Like, get rid of that stuff and do something better with your time. People always tell me, I don't have time. I'm like, how much TV do you watch a week? Yes, you do. Okay. Don't hate me. Don't shoot the messenger. We all know we have to hear these things sometimes. Okay. And guys, so once you've established the priorities, and I'm going to put this in a really concise formula for you here in a minute, okay? You have to start life blocking these things. Forget time blocking. Yes, time is involved, but you need to start actually blocking your life, your priorities, your business lifeblood activities, and the things that give you life and energy and nurture your body, mind, and soul. Get a calendar out and write down what success means for you. This is the formula. I'm going to make it really clear. Define your success. 1 to 3 sentences, 1 statement. Write down the pillars of that success, aka your life priorities and your business priorities. And they should consist of things that are lifeblood business activities, input, output money, and then life-giving activities that give you life, energy, nurture you. And then you need to put those in your daggum calendar. Guys, I am ADD, OCD, all the wackadoodle things, and I live by my calendar. If you do not have a calendar, you are unknowingly suffering. The calendar and discipline is freedom. It is. And that's crazy for somebody like me to say, the group and a family that didn't have no schedule. But I'm telling you, it is freedom. It is freedom. Also, if some of you are like, well, I just want to be available to my clients. I hear that a lot. I love you. And I love your servant's heart. I truly do. But let me tell you, the number one thing that makes you look like a bad ASS, being unavailable sometimes. Because guys, if you're available all the time, they think you ain't got another client. So if you have life blocked working out, I go to Zumba twice a week. If I don't do that, I used to be a professional ballroom dancer. Okay. So I need some music in my life. And for years, I didn't have it. For like 10 or 12 years, I hardly ever danced when I got into real estate. And I literally felt like my soul died, because that to me is freedom. Dancing is. So I do Zumba twice a week, 1 hour, and I get to shake my big old butt. Did not used to be nearly this big. All right. And have a good time and let loose. And everyone thinks that I have appointments every Monday and Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Everyone thinks that I have appointments. I don't tell them I'm going to Zumba. Don't tell them you have a life. Just tell them you got work appointments. You seem unavailable, and they probably respect you more because you're busy doing things. And guess what? You are busy doing things that are good for you and that are going to make you better at serving your clients, because the Lord knows that I'm going to go gangsta on somebody if I don't have some time to myself. And I'm sure you guys feel it. You know where I'm going with this. Okay, we're almost done. So life block these things, make them a priority, non-negotiable. The only thing that I would think that you could negotiate one of these for is a closing that absolutely you cannot move to another time. That's the only thing. Having said that, is this helpful? Do we understand that you must define success? Otherwise, you are reaching for something you don't know what it is. And I see this all the time. And I have done this. I didn't know what success was. I just kind of saw everybody else doing something for years, and I just did that too. I ended up really unhappy because it wasn't what success was for me. So really quick recap, and then I'm going to let you go. Success is built off of clarity of self and purpose, growth mindset, courage. What is courage? It is being afraid and doing it anyway. Number 2, define your success. 1 to 3 sentences, 1 statement. Build, pillars, aka priorities that support that success. Definition that consists of lifeblood activities, life-giving activities, and also then get those in your calendar. That's the formula. Okay. And don't be afraid to be unavailable to your clients sometimes. If you are all that in a bag of chips, which we're going to talk about hopefully next week, if you are not charging premium prices to your clients, this hit me in the feels when I first heard someone say something along these lines, and I hope I don't butcher it. If you are not charging premium prices to your clients for your services, you are telling them that to get the best, go somewhere else. And I will leave you with that. And next week, we're going to talk about how you can become valuable in this ever-changing market always. Okay. Have an awesome day. I will talk to you soon. Thanks for coming.